Our lesson today is on using linear models to solve problems, and it will cover page 27 in your Jump Math book. Our first question is going to ask us to fill in the blank. So they will give us an A and a B, and this is a linear model where we have a line and we're breaking it into equal numbers of pieces. What you will notice is that the three pieces from A take up the first three pieces from B. So that is where we get our numerator from, and the total number of pieces is where we get our denominator from. So part A is 3/5 of part B, because it's the length of 3 out of the 5 pieces. For part B, we have a new A and B. What would the top number in our fraction be? So this one would be 2/5, because A takes up the same length as 2, but there's 5 pieces all together. This can be used to help us solve word problems. So if we have a problem such as 75 students are on a bus, there are 2/3 as many boys as girls. How many boys are there? We can show, okay, the boys equals 2 out of the 3 spots for the girls. There's 75 altogether. Now we have 5 separate units in the diagram, and they represent 75 students. So they should each be an equal number of students. If we divide 75, our total, by the number of spots, 5, each one is 15 students. So the boys are 2 long, so each of those would be 15, and 15 times 2 is 30. So there are 30 boys. We're going to use this same structure to help us answer question 2. So there are 40 students on a bus, and there are 3/5 as many girls as boys. How long should my bar be for the girls? The girls would get the numerator 3 because there's 3/5 as many girls. So for the girls, we would draw something that's 3 long. For the boys, how long would it be? It would be 5 long. So make sure the 3 match the 3 from the girls, and then you add 2 more at the end. What is my next step? My next step is to add 3 and 5 to figure out that there are 8 different boxes here. So I need to divide this into 8 groups. What will I divide into 8 groups? I'll then take the total number of students, 40, and divide it by the number of groups, 8, which leaves me with 5. That means for each of these little units, there are 5 students. So, how many boys are there? There are 25 boys. Now, you would probably be answering this type of question in your notebook, but we've been able to find a little bit of space here. For question number 3, the bars below represent the number of red and green beads in a box, and we need to fill in the blank. So we have our green list and our red list. They tell us that there's 10 more red than green. So if I were to look at this section here and break up, this is how much more red there is than green. So how long would this unit be? So this is worth 10. 1 unit equals how many beads? 10 beads. So how many beads are there all together? There's 70, because each group would be 10. So we'd have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 beads all together. Question 4, I'll also try to fit in small on the page here, but it says there's 2/3 as many green beads as red beads. 10 more red beads than green beads. So how many bars would I give to the green bead? So the green will get the 2 bars. because they are smaller than the red ones. For the red bars, I am going to use how many? 3 bars. Now I'm going to draw over this with another color because I think it might be a little bit tricky to see right now. So we've got 2 green and 3 red, and they want us to find the number of red and green beads in each problem. It says there's 10 more red beads than green beads. So how many beads are in each unit? There are 10. So that means altogether there are 50 beads, which means there are 20 green and 30 red. I will go through number 5 with you because it's a little bit tricky, but I'll leave you to do number 6 on your own. So 1/4 of the fish in a tank are red. So if we look here, this is 1/4, they are red. The rest are blue and green. So we notice they've broken this up into blue and green. There are 6 more green fish than red fish. So if the red fish is 1/4, the green fish have to be 1/4 plus 6 more. So that's why they've broken it up this way. Then there are 24 blue fish. So they actually tell us how many blue fish there are. We need to figure out how many fish are in the tank. So my first thought is, if this is 1/4 and this is 1/4, then what fraction is this part of the circle, of the rectangle? So the part that I've put a red box around is half of the tank. So how many fish are in that half of a tank? Caleb? There are 30 fish. So that tells me that in the whole tank, how many fish are there? There are 60 fish in the tank, because if there's 30 on one half, there also have to be 30 on the other half. So together that equals 60 fish. Try number 6 on your own. It's using models to solve the problem.